I'm not gonna bog this intro down with the whole backstory. Everybody knows what happened to this game by now, but the real question was, were they going to be able to fix Ruin? Or at least make some sort of stride to improve / patch it up. Maybe use this as a vehicle to show what would have been. Just something to make it right. Now, having played it, no, I don't think it was fixed. They for sure tried and just worked with whatever they had left. The game itself, yeah, sure, it's polished. But whatever story they had in Security Breach before the cuts, it's gone. It's not coming back. Vanny just went to waste. Now the Mimic has been introduced, and it seems like they'll be the next major antagonist. Or at least until they show some other big thing that's somehow been happening in the background or in the books. I do know Game Theory and the rest have been mentioning this as a theory for a while now, but I do want to stick with what Steel Wool has been showing us in the games. So for now, the Mimic. But going back to Vanny super quick, man, it just kind of sucks because they built her up so well, and not just in the trailers, but throughout multiple games. I hate how you could see and imagine how she would have been used in the game. She never got the time to shine. They kept building and building, and she didn't really do anything. She got no payoff, no climax. It's kind of like when they show this flowchart for how a story is supposed to be structured, but instead of building and then after the climax going down, it just stays incomplete. And by now, she's gotten replaced. We gotta save someone we didn't even know or develop anything for. There was no real payoff there. Out of anything, if the story couldn't be completed in the base game, I thought at least she could get a second chance in the DLC before it was over. But the realization came in a little bit too late. Like I said in the previous video, it does feel like there is some substance now, that it's going somewhere new, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. There is a lot to explain, and it can go in a new setting since it's leaning towards sci-fi now. It's been something that's been changing in the background for years now, and while I don't entirely think that's where it should go, I still appreciate it, and I've just kind of accepted it now. This is clearly what Scott wants to do, so personally, I want to give it a chance and see what he has to show for it. It's still a little sad that Security Breach had to end like this though. At least it got a slight win in the end with the DLC. It's been received so much more warmly than the base game. Though I won't deny that I'd rather see something closer to what the originals had, something personally invasive, like you being a kid and getting stalked in your own bedroom by nightmares like in FNAF 4, or being trapped in an office with no escape. Like, that sounds much more terrifying and real to me, especially when it comes to how the animatronics looked and felt like they were actually possessed and moved in unnatural ways. It seemed like they were literally being puppeteered and moving in ways that they were never intended to move. It was an unnatural feeling if it had to be described. Something supernatural. That's a much more interesting concept for a story to me, but the franchise is clearly past that now. It's really truly over, which I'm thankful for in a way. I personally got scared that they weren't going to fully let it go and that William would always truly come back no matter what, that everything done in the past was for nothing. So in that sense, I think the story was improved. It provided clarity that yes, it is over. This is something new now. Now, in terms of it being cryptic, I think FNAF has always done things cryptically. Everything ever since the very beginning has been explained in background details. How did we first learn about the 5 kids being missing? The newspaper clipping in the back of the closet room in FNAF 1. FNAF 2 being before FNAF 1? Mentioned in passing by Phone Guy.
We're going to try to contact the original restaurant owner. I think the name of the place was Fredbear's Family Diner or something like that.
Things like that, it's not new. I do think they were trying to actually show some things at some points in Security Breach with the way the trailers were presented and how games like Security Breach handle their stories, but yeah, that was definitely changed if that was the case. Also, speaking of changes, I didn't know where to put this exactly, but you guys know about the 4th ending listed in the game's code, right? Well, since there's this scene with Chica and how you can repair her, and seeing others talk about this, I feel like there's this 4th ending that was scrapped, the good ending of sorts, where you get to collect all the parts that Gregory took from the animatronics and just undoing the damage that he did. Maybe that was a part of Security Breach at some point, and maybe they tried to re-implement it here, but they couldn't also fully do it here. It seemingly also would have matched that imagery that people were constantly pointing out with the Steel Wool website, you know, the one with the different color sides on their logo. You could have had an evil neutral ending with the purple, leaving all of them destroyed, and even ending some of them like you do with Monty. And the green one would have been you putting in the effort in undoing all the damage done and unlocking the 4th true good ending. This possibility never left my mind, since when I played the game, it was kind of weird that Chica was the only character you could repair, and Roxy literally just comes out of nowhere back to life at the end. So it just feels like an idea that they had, but they just had to drop it. But I think that's pretty much all I had to say. So yeah, take care, and thank you so much for all the support on the last few videos. I really appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, adios. Have a nice day.